A lot of times when kids go into the system, the only thing they have is their sibling because they don't have anybody else. So if you separate them, that kind of destroys their whole foundation. I was more focused on making sure my brother was okay. I wasn't really worried about me. We had gotten into an argument and I told him I hated him, and I went to a neighbor's house and came back and he was gone. And the next day they sent me off somewhere, so I didn't see him for about a year. When we got back together and went to live with my birth father, I found out that his foster mom tried to drown him in a bathtub. So being separated was pretty bad.
When I learned more about the stories that children like Mallory and others have gone through, and then when found out the system that's supposed to help them removes them not only from their home, but from their school, from their church, from their community, from their town, from anything and any person that's familiar to them. And I can't imagine a situation as a child that would be more scary or more traumatic than that.
%63% of our children are placed outside the county. With the Guardian Ad Litem program, my job is to recruit and train volunteers to advocate for children. These children are placed in Myrtle Beach, they're placed in Loris, they're placed in Andrews, they're placed in King Street, they're placed in the upstate, which makes it hard for my guardians to advocate for them because they are placed outside of their home county.
It's huge because ultimately we know that the best thing is to try to keep families together. That's best for parents, it's best for the children. If children have no sense of stability at all in their lives, they're more prone to engage or act out, should we say, in things that we would eventually call crimes.
When you think of children being removed from their homes for whatever reason, reunification is the first priority. And with reunification being the first priority, we want those kids housed in an area so that they're able to still have the parents involved in the therapy and in the different services. Right now, we currently don't have that.
How do we ever expect families to reunify and be successful in living together if they're separated and dispersed across the state? Right? And that concerned me about the value that we're placing on children. It concerned me on children's lives, and it concerned me about the value that we're placing on those families' lives. And I refuse to believe that they have no value and that they have no worth. And so one day, I just said, I'm going to open a children's home. The Trent Hill Center for Children and Families is a group care home for children in Darlington County who've been removed from their homes due to abuse and neglect or abandonment.
The reality is that some parents don't necessarily know how to do everything, that many times we parent the way that we were parented, and some of them were victims themselves and may know that or not know that.
Often the population that we work with is a cycle of abuse and neglect. And what I'm hopeful that the Trent Hill Center can offer is to break that cycle.
The Trent Hill Center is named for my father, who passed away in 2012 due to a rare degenerative brain disease. He was many things, but most important to this endeavor is that he was an excellent father. I certainly think he would be proud. There are also many, many days along the way when I've wished that he were here. Maybe find out if he thought I was crazy. There's a big vision and big dreams, but there are an awful lot of people around me that are helping to move it forward. If I went through every organization, individual, and family in this community that has contributed, we'd be here for days. I mean, it's absolutely incredible the way the community has come out to help make this vision a reality.
Being at a place like Trent Hill, I think it will be able to open your mind, allow you to trust, because trust is something that's very important. And then once they're able to gain that trust, they'll be able to spread their wings, see the light, and become productive people of society.
I told somebody when I came to the sneak peek, my best friend was with me, I said, I would have loved to stay in this when I was in the system. This would have been like amazing.
It feels like a home. That's the thing I like about it. It has more than I had when I was a kid. So that's great.
It's important that it's not just a center. You know, the people that run it, it's important that they have love and compassion for the kids that are going through the system, because it shows the kids that somebody does care, that they're not just here to give you a roof over your head. They're here to show you that you do have a future. I've turned my life around and graduating this year and going to college, and neither of my parents even got past 9th grade, so that's what I consider to be my triumph.
The center allows us the opportunity to intervene in children's and families' lives to try to change the outcome, to try to change their future. And by investing in this, whether it's your time, whether it's your money, you get to play a part in seeing that happen.